What's up, guys? Here are your Week 1 NFL Sunday picks. The first game we got, I'm gonna be there. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. Right now, the Bills are favored by -6.5. I like the Steelers to cover this because it's not gonna be cold yet in Buffalo. The Steelers have a running game now, and it's a redemption game. But the only question is, will TJ Watt get the contract he wants, and will he play? Either way, I'm taking the Steelers to keep this one close. Next, we got the Carolina Panthers taking on the New York Jets. The Carolina Panthers are favored -5.5 here, and I love them to cover because 1, they got the best running back in the league. 2, Sam Darnold is playing his old team, and this is a revenge game. We saw it a couple weeks ago when Trubisky played his old team, and guess what? He smoked them. I like Sam Darnold to do the same thing. Take the Panthers to cover here. Next, we got the Jags taking on the Texans, and the Texans are a complete mess. This spread has not changed. It's been 3 for a while now, and I kind of like the Jags to cover. To be honest, Trevor Lawrence is one of the best rookies out of this year's draft, and Deshaun is not playing. Tyrod Taylor has been named the starter for the Texans. I'm a little nervous. I think they're trying to tank, so I'll take the Jags and I'll take Urban Meyer to cover this one easy. Next, we have the Cardinals taking on the Titans. The Titans are currently favored -3, and I like them to cover, but wait. These teams are very similar. Bud Dupree, JJ Watt, Julio Jones. We have some huge names on both teams here, but the Titans are at home. Here's the thing though, the Arizona Cardinals are in an extremely tough division, and if they want a chance at the playoffs, it's going to come down to games like this. They need this win here. I just like the Titans to come out real hot at home here. Take the Titans -3. Next, we got the Chargers taking on the Washington football team. But did you hear there's like 8 names they're choosing from? So we may actually get a name for the Washington football team this year. Anyway, I don't like them to cover. I'm going to take the Chargers here at -1. This is a very small spread, but Justin Herbert is going to have a huge season. You heard it here first. Fitzpatrick, on the other hand, he's old. This is like his 16th team. They have a good defense, but I'm going to look for that offense on the other side of the ball with my Chargers to kill it this week. Take the Chargers -1. Next, we have probably the worst game of the week. We have the Falcons taking on the Eagles. Yeah, nobody cares about either one of these teams, but the Falcons are favored -3, and I'm going to take them simply because if I have to look at defense and I have to look at quarterbacks, I guess I have to take the Falcons because I don't trust anything the Eagles are about to do this year. Next, we have the Colts taking on the Seahawks. The Seahawks are currently favored -2.5, but I'm going to go with an underdog here. I like the Colts. Yeah, you're probably like, well, their quarterback isn't healthy. Carson Wentz is supposed to start Week 1. He's back on track. And honestly, Seattle looked so bad last season towards the end with their defense. I kind of expect them to pick up where they left off. I think the Colts have a great team surrounding them. They did it with Rivers. I think Wentz gains some confidence, comes back with a vengeance, and covers the spread. All right, here we got the Bengals and the Vikings. And Kirk Cousins has this weird pattern where they make the playoffs one year, the next year they stink. The next year they make it, the next year they stink. They didn't make it last year, so will they make it this year? I don't know, but I do like them to cover the spread against the Bengals. Yes, Joe Burrow is back, he's healthy, but they have no O-line, and I don't really trust him. So I'm going to go with the Vikings to cover the spread here at -3. So this next game started out as one of the largest spreads for Week 1, 7.5. San Fran's favored, and honestly, I think it's a little bit of a slap in the face to the Lions because, yeah, the 49ers may have went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but they didn't look great last year. I know what you're going to say. Half of their team was literally out for a couple games due to COVID and injuries. And yes, they do have some studs returning like Nick Bosa, but I don't like it. I'm going to take the Lions with Jared Goff. Yeah, they have Jared Goff now as their quarterback. I like the Lions to keep things interesting, so take the Lions +7.5 here. All right, I feel really weird that I'm about to say this because I actually had over there written down that I was going to take the Chiefs to cover, but something inside of me is saying that the Browns are going to do this. The Browns are going to cover against the Kansas City Chiefs, Week 1, -6.5. You have to look back at that playoff game. They had Pat Mahomes out the entire fourth quarter, and Chad Henne came in, took that ballsy 1-yard pass on 4th down to end up winning the game. But you know what? The Browns have this defense, and they have Baker Mayfield, and they have all these studs. And even though I'm in their division and I want to watch them miserably lose, I think they keep it closer than -6.5 here. So I gotta go with the Browns plus 6.5 week 1. I feel sick saying that, but I'm gonna do it. Take the Browns. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots, and this is a division rival game, week 1. I like it. The Patriots are currently favored -3, and I like them to cover, even though the Dolphins had a great season, especially towards the end of the year last year. I don't trust Tua. They have a great defense, but I don't trust Tua. You know who I kind of do trust? After winning every single preseason game and them releasing Cam Newton, is Mac Jones and Bill Belichick and the Patriots defense. I trust them too because they have 8 players that returning from last season because they sat out with COVID. Now they're all back. They picked up some new tight ends and they're going to surprise us. And I like them to beat the Dolphins week 1 and remind them who's boss. All right, now we have the Broncos and the Giants, and the spread is currently at Broncos -3, and I don't want to hear it if you didn't listen to me weeks ago and take the Broncos -1. I told you to hop on it. Now it's -3, and honestly, I think it's going to be a good game. I like what the Broncos have done surrounding their quarterback. Not sure about their actual quarterback situation. The Giants, though, I think they're going to surprise us this season. I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year. They have a lot of players coming back from injuries, but I do like the Broncos. I like my chances. This could very well be a push. I can kind of see the Broncos winning by a field goal, but I'm still going to take the Broncos to cover here if I had to choose -3. Next, we have the Bears taking on the Rams. And my opinion on this game has changed the past couple of days. If Justin Fields was starting for the Bears, I would actually confidently be taking the Rams. But now that Andy Dalton is there and the entire world is shitting on him, wanting Justin Fields to be quarterback, I think Andy Dalton is going to play his heart out. He has a defense, and yes, I know the Rams have Matt Stafford, and they're a Super Bowl caliber team, but I just like the Bears to keep things close because 7.5 is a huge spread for week 1, and I think Chicago is going to shock us. I think Andy Dalton is going to say, you know what, I'm a veteran. He started for years on the Bengals. Yes, he is not liked by fans, but that is more of a reason for him to prove everybody wrong. Take the Bears to cover the spread here. So due to the hurricane, the Saints and Packers game was changed to Jacksonville. So this is no longer a home game for the Saints. Either way, I was actually rolling with the Packers, but here's the catch. The spread has changed. I told you guys to take the Packers -2 weeks ago. Now it's at -4 because obviously the Saints aren't at home, so they're giving the Packers a couple more points. I still like the Packers to cover here. Aaron Rodgers is pissed. He wants to prove himself. The Packers have an improved defense, and we don't know what we're going to get from the Saints yet this year. They obviously have a great record without Drew Brees in the past, but now that all the pressure is on Jameis Winston, who was named the starting quarterback, I'm not so sure how it's going to play out. I do like Kamara to score a couple touchdowns, though, but I'm going to go with the Packers -4 here. Subscribe, like, follow, do all that stuff, and of course follow our picks, and let us know in the comments which picks do you disagree, agree with. Don't worry, it won't hurt my feelings. Check out bookies.com and be ready for more picks next week.